Welcome back to another episode of TikTok Famous Podcast. I am your host, Meredith Willits, and today we have on Josh Holland of the Josh Holland Band, and I'm so excited to talk to him, so stay with us.
You're listening to the TikTok Famous Podcast, where viral fame meets raw reality. Join your host, Meredith Willits, as she dives deep with your favorite creators to uncover the real stories behind the scroll, the highs, the lows, the algorithm chaos, and everything in between. This is not your average interview. This is the TikTok Famous Podcast.
Josh, thank you so very much for being here. We talked about doing this a while ago, so I'm glad we could put it together and get you in front of even more people that can fall in love with you. So thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I found you on TikTok. You came on my FYP just belting out Nutshell by Alice in Chains. And
Right.
I think that's when and how so many people found you, either Alice in Chains, Nutshell, or Pearl Jam's Black. I think those were your two
for sure.
huge songs. And I saw recently where you were talking about the fact that you used to sing those songs in drug houses.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm 44. So I grew up in the 90s, and in high school, Alice, you remember Alice in Chains and Pearl Jam and Stone Temple Pilots were the mainstream. That was like the pop music back then that took over the radios. That was the thing. And so MTV, so I got caught up in all that stuff. My idol at the time was Lane Staley, and, I'm young, and the people I was around, I remember I was straight edge skateboarder. Mom and dad had gotten some trouble in my life. I hadn't really been in my life early on. So I was like anti-drugs, anti-alcohol, straight edge skateboarder guy. And then I got into high school, and then I started seeing the high school kids, and I went on a little road trip with the hottest girl in the high school at the time. She was a senior. Me and my buddy, we weren't even freshmen yet. This was right after 8th grade, and they're smoking weed, and they basically hotboxed us out. And we went to the Subway and ate like 2-foot-long subs. We were all giggly. What is it called? Contact bus or whatever.
Yeah.
That changed my whole outlook. I see how much fun they were having. I was like, whoa, I want to be, you want to be cool like the older kids. So I got into that whole world, and I was always able to play, I played guitar and started singing when I was like 12, 13, just in my room.
Oh, wow.
I kind of picked up everything naturally. I had some tab books and some chord books, but I started out with drums, and then the guitar kind of just came second, and I picked that up. And then I play in garage bands when I was a teenager, and even before I got into the party and stuff. But so they would always have me I'd go to kegger parties, and I'd be sitting around like houses getting high, doing drugs, and they would always have me do acoustic songs. And back then, obviously Nutshell and Black and those bands were huge then, and it was when a few years after it was huge, so it was still very relevant. And those songs I've been able to play forever. I probably didn't play them as well, and my voice was probably not as deep. But and I got people every once in a while that will comment that are still around, because a lot of people didn't make it. There was a lot of people that died and they're in prison, and they never, but they remember, back 25 years ago or something, me sitting around some house playing these songs. So
it's still so relevant. Those songs are still, so relevant, so popular. They've stood the test of time, and
I know, it's crazy.
I don't even know if you put a spin on it, but you definitely put like grit into it, your own pain, your own love, your own everything, that just brings just a different layer to the songs. We just all love it. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Thank you.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I love those songs. I never would have thought that that would, because I actually, the live videos that did well, I think I had a Pearl Jam one that did 300,000 or 400,000 views on TikTok, the first one that ever did anything. And then Nutshell, another one, did 300,000 or 400,000 or 500,000 views or something before I ever had like a good video that did 1 million, and just nonstop messages of people being like, please record this, put it on Spotify. And I was like anti that. I was like, no, because these are my favorite vocalists. the first three Pearl Jam albums, Eddie Vedder's vocals, Lane Staley, everything from that he's ever put out, that's like sacred to me. So I was like, no, I'm like the gatekeeper guy that was like, no. And then I was like, they keep asking, and I get messages, hundreds of messages. I was like, oh my God, why would you want to hear me sing this? You can go listen to the song. I get
Yeah.
it live, of course, live. If you got somebody that does a good version of that, Pearl Jam's probably $2 million to hire. Lane Staley's not around anymore. I get it. Especially I sing a lot like early Eddie Vedder. It's a little
Yeah.
bit different. He's older now and he sings a little different. But I get that. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this because I think it's gonna help me. So I did it, and then I had a little clip of Nutshell go viral early on, like 2 years ago. And the song wasn't out yet. That's what really sucks. I didn't realize I didn't know what I was doing. If they could have went straight to the song, I'd probably have triple the streams on it right now. But still helped me greatly. So I was like, I need to get out of my own way and not be this old gatekeeper grunge guy and just do whatever the people are asking for. And it's helped me big time. So
Yeah, I mean, you were working a regular job and then got on TikTok, started putting all this music out, and you've been able to walk away from your quote unquote regular job and like this is your career now. This is how you support yourself is through touring
yes,
and music.
yes, yes. And it's not the traditional touring, which that will probably come where I'm like on a tour bus touring around playing my own songs with the band or anything. But I'm doing a lot of events and parties and also venues and bars, like just everywhere. Like right now, I'm in a sweet spot where somebody at my level, if you're going out and you're trying to tour your own music with 30, 40,000 monthly listeners on Spotify with a couple 100,000 followers, um, I know guys that are at my level, maybe even higher than me as far as followers and subscribers and all that stuff. And they go out on tour with these big bands and they don't make any money, but they get the experience of playing to 2,000 capacity, and going to tour life. Um, that's awesome. And I want to do that at some point whenever it makes sense, but they don't make any money. So I
Right.
got these guys, these Pearl Jam fans and these Stain fans and these people that have money and they're like, name your price, we want you here. And it just happens over and over and over. And so I was
Yeah.
scared at first when I quit my job. And then I just got very lucky. It just started coming. Yesterday I was like, I don't have anywhere to travel to in February. I was in Colorado yesterday. I did an
Oh
awesome
my gosh.
party. Just amazing people there. And then I got a call in the morning and the guy's like, hey man, I want to fly you to the Virgin Islands for a weekend in February. He's like, we'll pay you and put you in first class. I was like, yes. So now I'm
Oh
getting
my.
like to where I'm like, I love this because people are taking like amazing care of me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm in a sweet spot where I'm making more money than I've ever made. I made more in 2 months than I ever made in a year at Cat from performing. But I am not just getting passive income. I'm grinding it out. I'm doing 3 and 4 shows, 5 shows a week sometimes.
Yeah.
I'll fly to a state and I'll get no sleep and fly back to the next state the next morning and then come back to Illinois and do a bar show and then fly. It's been crazy, but I kind of replaced my addictive mentality into the work thing.
Yeah.
And I don't have a day job to kind of keep me from
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah, you
So
can just
Dame,
go and push, and then you can sleep in the
right.
next morning because no one wants you at a
Yeah, right.
show at 11 a.m. usually, so that's at least
I know,
good.
right? Yep, exactly.
So you started out like you're not professionally trained, which you
Mhm.
actually came to a party at my house. I was so blessed. I reached out to you long ago and begged you
Right.
to come to my house and you agreed. So I got to meet you in person. You sang me happy birthday, a memory I'll never forget. I do have my Josh Holland t-shirt on
Oh,
right now from
awesome.
seeing you in concert at a bar around here in
Okay.
Illinois.
Yep.
But you when you told me you were explaining playing the guitar and you're like, yeah, I don't really know how that works. I just play it. You were talking about tuning your guitar and how you
Right.
needed many different guitars, but they had to be kind of pre-tuned to play certain songs.
Well, yeah, I have one. The song I believe in particular, it's a whole step down. So I had to
Yeah,
have a whole nother guitar set up to play those chords. I could probably transpose it into a regular guitar. It wouldn't sound the same, but just to pull it off, I haven't yet. I need
yeah.
to because people request that song. But
Or you just need to buy
uh,
another guitar and get it set.
well, I
Set.
do. I have another guitar. I just don't travel with it because that's two guitars, and I don't travel with it just for that song. I will to band shows and play, when it's in the set list, of course. But if I'm doing a party or I'm flying to another state, I don't want to take two guitars.
Yeah,
But so I really do need to learn how to transpose it. I can figure that out. I just don't know music theory. I've never had any training. I know the basic chords. I know how to read tab books, like vaguely. it's a blessing and a curse. Like guys that are like trained, music theory trained, and professionals, they kind of sometimes, some of them, not all of them, some of them can be kind of a hater because like I'm getting to do cool stuff just from, and it just happened.
Just
I,
happened.
on the other hand, don't know how to necessarily, I'm getting better, but I don't know how to relay the terminology to my producer, which is a trained
Oh,
music theory guy. My guitar player, he's very in tune with all that. So I just have to hum stuff. Everything's feeling. There's
yeah.
no technical terms. I don't know. So now at this point in my life, I'm like, I could actually use, I would like to have some of that, maybe some vocal lessons, some stuff just to help technique, to know what I'm doing, to be aware of what the things that I'm doing, because there's names for it and I don't know what they are. So it
But
would
don't
just
you
help me.
there's like a beauty that comes just out of you raw that doesn't get bogged down with the technical? Like, there's so many people that are like, "You can't do that," and there's no
Yeah.
can't in brain.
No, I agree. The way I write songs is are you there? I kind of lost you, I think.
Whereas keep talking. You're frozen or I'm frozen.
Oh,
I'm not sure
yeah, you're
which.
frozen.
There we go.
Okay. You
It's
back?
back.
Okay. No,
Mhm.
so there's guys that like Nashville songwriters, they go into a room, their job is every day to sit down and um they have a formula. They write songs, and some of them are great and they write great songs, but they can pump out 2 or 3 songs a day, 5 or 6 to 10
Mhm.
songs a week or whatever. And they they hopefully they get a good one and they can sell it to a big artist or whatever. Um, with me, it takes me a long time to write a song because it has to come to me.
Mhm.
So like I have to have this certain mood that I'm in where, because music's pretty much always running in my head, but
Yeah.
sometimes there will be a derivative of another song, and that's usually where it comes from your subconscious. Like I will go back and listen to things that I've written. I'm like, I can't figure out where they came from. Then I realize where they were inspired from. Like, okay, this is from this song. It's not a rip off, but it was in that style or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'll get these things in my head and like, oh, man, that's awesome. So I hum it into my phone wherever I'm at. It's usually when I'm somewhere where I don't have a guitar, or
Of
a lot of times
course.
it was at work when I had my old job. It might be like if I'm flying somewhere or I'm on the way to somewhere in a car, or if my daughter's with me and she's on her iPad and I'm just kind of passing time. So I'll hum it into my phone, and then I got to go back in and then piece it together with guitar and see if it's in the right key to where I can make it a song. So I just went through my notes, or not my sound recordings on my iPhone, and there's like hundreds of ideas there that I haven't even tapped into yet. I'm like, and at the time, I think they're awesome. I go back to listen a day later. I'm like, ah. Then if I go back in a couple months later or whatever with fresh
Yes.
ears, I'm like, that's good. That's really,
Yes.
wow, I didn't know that was good. Because I have to get out of my own head and get another perspective, or I won't like it. Not that I
Yeah.
hate it, I just don't appreciate it. So it's
You
like
gotta
almost
get far
listening.
enough away from it to be able
Yeah.
to hear it right, right.
And then with my own songs that I've released, it's weird. I don't know if it's an artist thing or it's just a me thing, but there's a couple that I love. Like I believe in them, and there's also some that I need validation from other people to know if they're actually good. I know they're good, but are they good? Good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like they're good songs, right? They're melodic. There's catchy stuff in them, but are they good? Good. You know, I know it's subjective, but I hate it. But I really kind of I need the validation. So if they do well, and the thing about being on TikTok is, even if you got great originals, they don't hit the algorithm as well. You really got to pump out so much content. So, and that's the one thing that's kind of standing in my way, is I've not figured out how to manage my time in order to have somebody, because I can do these like cell phone videos where I'm looking, but the ones that for the original content in particular are the ones where people film them for me and I
Yeah.
play through. I need a good catch. I need something compelling to get these people to hear the song,
Because you
because
got
otherwise
what, 2
they're
seconds?
yeah, they're just going to flip through. So you come into that opening riff of Nutshell, people are staying because they want, okay, I want to hear what this guy does with this song.
Right.
So it's odd.
Is he gonna flop? Is
Yeah,
he gonna
same
be
thing
a
with Black. It's
disaster?
these huge iconic songs that are trending on TikTok. Way a new take on something familiar, super easy. Well, not super easy, but way easier to get views. My
Right.
worst Pearl Jam Black video, I can put it in some crappy bar. It can be a poor quality cell phone video, but as soon as they hear my voice singing Black, I can get 9 or 10,000 views. easy, like at the worst. A lot of times they'll do 100, 2,000, 100,000 views,
Yeah.
and then sometimes they'll do a million if I'm lucky. But with an original, I haven't quite figured it out. And I know there's no like
Oh,
certain way to do
it's
it. It's changing all the time. But
yeah,
and there's
it's
a lot of
changing all the
videos.
time. You had something
Yep.
come out recently, and I loved everything about the video. Something in the orange with the live piano with the blue lighting.
Yeah, yeah.
That
That was when we.
was
I know.
so powerful, and it was just, I mean, like it, like you come up on my feed all the time because we're mutuals, but when I flipped and I saw the blue lighting and the piano and
Right.
everything was just perfection. Where were you
Yeah.
when you recorded that? What was that all about?
So that was in Paxton, Illinois, when we opened up for Saving Abel,
Mm.
back in November. Will Harris, he flew in, or maybe drove, I don't know, from Pennsylvania, to record the I Believe music video. So we spent Saturday, all day Saturday before the Saving Abel show, filming the love and the me and the girl in the video, all those scenes. And then Sunday, he came with me to film the Saving. I still have a bunch of content I haven't posted for all
Ugh,
original songs.
so
Um,
good.
so yeah, and he's a professional. Like he worked for WAND, I think, here in Illinois, and then he moved to Pennsylvania to work for a news station. And he just recently started his own business. Now he's working for himself doing videography and producing. And he did the Outlaw video. I'm not sure if you've seen the YouTube
I
video on
love that
Outlaw,
song.
and that's on YouTube also. So he did that. I really loved the vibe that he did on that. So I asked him to do this one again, and this one is way out of my comfort zone. I'm on a horse and I'm on a farm, and I'm like the guy that leaves for. I won't give it away because it's a cool thing, but it's definitely a Midwest kind of Hallmark love video, because the song's a wholesome love song. It's there's like I had a lot of girls submitting like calendar photos to me like on bikes that are tatted up. I'm like, this is not a rap video. Like trying to be in the video. But anyways, we filmed that, and then he went to he went with me to Paxton to film that, and he's got the professional cameras. Like with that kind of lighting in a venue, cell phones just don't work right. I mean, they're great if you have the right lighting, but when
Yeah.
you got them 8K professional cameras, the big ones that they use for movies, um, and I said I wanted to make sure he got vertical content for something in the orange, black, and nutshell, the ones I know that are going to hit well, and
Yeah.
also my producer Eric, the one that did the piano for something in the orange.
Oh, is that who that is?
That was, yeah, that's the first show he's ever done with us, and that was just me, Miles, my guitar player, and Eric Nelson. And I was super stoked about this because the keys and the piano add such a depth to, like, you should
Oh,
hear. I'll send you the full version of Outlaw, and it sounds amazing because he's got this ethereal like keys behind it. It just makes it amazing. And for my vibe, it's great. Like they didn't want the full band for that show because of the amount of drum sets on the
oh,
stage and the switch
mhm.
over.
Space.
And the guy that hired me, that loves me in this Paxton area, seen me open up for Tracy Lawrence, the country guy, and loved my acoustic set. A lot of people just like that vibe.
Well,
But
it's such a
yeah.
different, I mean, like you were here
Mm.
and you did a solo, obviously, and I was having a quote 90s party. So you were belting out all the 90s stuff, which everyone
Right.
just loved. But then when I went and saw you with my girlfriend, you had the whole band there,
Right.
totally different vibe. I mean,
Right.
it is, you're covering, I mean, everything from the Cranberries to
Mhm.
obviously Pearl Jam. I mean, you're literally what are some other ones that you do with your band? I mean, I can't even
I
think
mean,
of
we
it.
do the stuff I don't do acoustic. We do an Aerosmith song. We do even
Yes.
some like modern country. Luke Combs, Jason Aldean. We do Rage Against the Machine. We do Cody Jinks and some of the country stuff I mess with in the acoustic stuff. And the more upbeat, like instead of
Yeah.
Plush or Interstate Love Song, we do no Sex Type Thing by Stone Pilots, because it's like
Yeah,
a
it's
banger.
very I mean, you had people dancing.
Right.
And, like, it's so fun because so many people are finding you from different walks of life for different songs, for different reasons. And so we were sitting at, a table with these other 2 gals, and they had found you from, I think it was Facebook, and it was just so interesting. Like, they just were like, "Oh my god, I love Josh. How do you know him?" And I'm just like, "I found him on TikTok," like, and you're just
Right.
bringing so many people together. And the crazy thing is, like I said, Cranberries, country, Aerosmith, like you're literally doing all the things. And I think that that's bringing so many people towards you from different genres and different
Right.
age groups too, which I think is amazing.
Yeah, and I was excited whenever guys like Zach Bryan and even Morgan Wallen's got some cool songs. And Cody Jinks and Tyler Childers blew up because I could appreciate their music more than I did a lot of the old pop bro country type stuff. I do like some of it, don't get me wrong. But the stuff that's relevant and popular, a lot of times I'm not a fan of. So I gotta kind of just power through it. And I'm like, just to entertain. I actually like some of their songs, you know. So like
Yeah.
Something that Orange is a great song. Like I'm not familiar with a lot of his stuff. I listen to totally different music than I normally play. But Morgan Wallen's got some songs I love. Tyler Childers got one of my favorite songs ever, "Shake the Frost." I love that song. I played acoustic. Like these guys have great. They're songwriters. They have great. They're not even in a genre almost. It's just weird. Like they're just the songwriter acoustic people or whatever. But uh, I'm glad they have songs that I like because I can actually. You can tell when I'm just going through the motions or when I when playing
It's
something I like. And
feeling
10
it.
years ago, back then I was playing Sam Hunt and Florida Georgia Line. I had a lot of younger female following back in the bar scene around here. And when the one thing stood out, a group of friends of mine, they follow me, these girls, and um, all of them except for one, they're like, "Oh, play Jason Aldean, play whatever's pop country." And this one was like, she wasn't even really a fan of 90s rock. She's like, "Play Pearl Jam Black." And her friends were like, "No, no, don't play Pearl Jam Black. That's depressing." And she's like, "No, but you feel that song. You can tell that's a performance from you. You can tell that you're just going through the motions with the other songs." So that stood out to me. That was like forever ago. She's like, "I don't even know
Wow.
that song, but it's like the way you perform it, you put your soul into it, and I want to see that instead of you just playing something you don't like." So I think that's kind of happening now with these Pro Jam and Nutshell. These songs I love. These songs like
Yeah.
especially Alice in Chains. And it's like I was listening to that stuff when I was strung out and coming down and was depressed. And so that
And you
stuff has
and
an
you sing about that with no regrets,
Mhm,
and you talk about how you grew up in a small
mhm.
town, there wasn't shit going on. You never thought you'd end up being, quote, "that person," and you
Right,
absolutely ended up being that person, unfortunately,
right,
that did get into drugs and did go the route that you never thought that you would go, and you put this into, Outlaw talks about how you all the shit that you did, all the
right,
drugs, from drug to drug to drug to drug,
right,
um, should have, could have, would have killed you.
right.
And you talk about all of that in your music very openly. And I think that's amazing because those are some of my favorite songs are your originals where you talk about how you were there.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know what to write about. I feel like the hardest thing for me to do is write lyrics. The melodies, well, it's all hard for me. It takes forever. It takes me 6 months to write a song. And also I don't. A lot of songwriters will go through 100 bad songs to get one, or however
Yeah.
many, and so I think maybe there's an advantage to that where I'm so critical. But yeah, at first that was the only thing I had to write about, like
Yeah.
relationships, and I still don't really know what to write about. It has to do with. I'm very literal in my lyrics. Like when I wrote the song "Summertime" with my band, my guitar player actually came up with the riff, and it's a country party song, and I was like, "Oh, this is a perfectly Brentley Gilbert type party song. What do I write about?" And at the time, I was still drinking. I was like, "The only thing country I do besides living in the Midwest in a small town is drinking and going to the bar, girls. A normal day in my life is what summer, get
Yeah.
up, go take my chick at the time, whatever, go to the bar, drink. I love summertime. This is like based in the winter. Give me back to the sunshine and drinking and fun and but I don't do anything else country. So instead of like lying in lyrics, I'm so literal. And I know you don't have to be honest in your lyrics, but everything else is 100% accurate. There's a few things, that I've been back and forth about. Like there's a song, even Sonori, lift our hands up into the sky, pray for truth. Like I'm back and forth with the God thing. I'm kind of agnostic. I have never, I don't know. So I was telling my producer, I was like, he's like, don't have to be literal, man. He's like, even if you're not praying to God, you're just hoping,
Yeah.
for something. And I'm not against it. I just don't know. So I was like, oh, should I not put that in there? And he's like, your fan base is mostly, especially around here. He's like, don't worry about that shit. And I was like, I know, I don't need to worry about it. So I'm so literal with my lyrics, it almost gets in my way because
Yeah.
there's a lot of times you
Well,
just
because I
make
think because
something.
you're so honest, like you don't want
Yeah.
to be fake. You don't want someone to
And
call
it,
you out on your shit and be like, you never did
yeah,
that. You're like, yeah, I did. Like, I think
I'm
that
not
that's
a
who
poser.
you are.
But,
Yeah.
um, it kind of gets in my way sometimes, and it makes it difficult to write lyrics, because there are times when a line sounds better if it's not 100% true. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So sometimes you just have to come up, and I'm learning that stuff to get out of my own way.
Maybe just write
Um,
about someone else's perspective, like you're
yeah,
writing a song about a bird's flight. You don't have to be a bird to
right,
have a song about what it feels like to be a bird that's flying.
right.
So, you've seen a million stories and in your walk of life. You can write a song from those people's shoes
Hmm.
and then just take a creative artistic approach of what you think it might have been like to be them, like
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I need to free up enough space in my brain to do that. Like I'm just constantly like I I feel like I'm starting to get there. It's like you have
yeah.
a bandwidth and like everything else is hogging up that space. So when it comes to lyrics, I'm still working. I've been working on lyrics for a song for this other project I'm doing for like 8 months, and I'm just stuck. I thought about trying to use AI, but then I'm like, I don't want to do that yet. But yeah, and I have done that with one song. I don't know if I sent you any of this stuff from the project I'm doing with Toby Wright, which is a massive. He's the one that produced Alice in Chains Nutshell. He's a massive rock producer.
Wow.
I thought I sent you some, but maybe I didn't.
Mm-mm.
It's a song about. I was like following the Diddy case for a while, and like it's kind of a song about like from a narcissistic, controlling perspective
Mhm.
about keeping a person locked into a toxic situation because that they're kind of traumatized and they they feed off that trauma so they can't leave, you know what I'm saying? So like I wrote it from a different perspective, but I also had situations where I've been that guy. Now I haven't been like a terrible piece of shit or done anything wrong to anyone, but I've had these type of narcissistic type controlling things and I've had people do it to me. So it's kind of not relevant to what I'm doing now or the person I am now, but it was just like a general. I'll send it to you so you can know. But and I can't release any of this stuff. But it's one of my favorite songs I've done, and it's one girls like because it's a very sexy vibe. And every female I've sent it to is like, oh my god. I won't even say what they say to me on here because I want to be appropriate. But um, and so if you get the 50 Shades of Grey vibe, how whatever that I didn't watch that, but I've heard about it, and I've heard guys talk about how it's not even like what, but the controlling aspect of it
Yeah.
and I don't know, but this is kind of in that thing. So I was
Are
like, I
you gonna
wonder.
are you
Go
gonna be
ahead.
able to sing a song for us today?
Yeah, sure, sure.
Which one do you want to sing?
I don't know. What do you have any ideas? I thought so here's the deal with Sonori. I've not performed that, but once live, that was like 2 years ago. I was just messing with it right before I got on here, so
Yeah, let's
I could pull
let's
off
do it.
maybe at least a little bit of it, to give because I want to. I've done no promotion for that song other than a couple Facebook posts and like two TikTok videos.
Yeah,
So
let's
most people don't even know it's out.
well, I love it. So yeah.
So I don't know. I might mess it up, but nobody's heard it yet, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no one knows what is it supposed to be.
Except for like 100 people, maybe.
Yeah.
The thing is, I didn't remember how to play it on guitar. I go in, I write songs, and I don't mess with them for so long. I sat on that song for 3.5 years, and I believe I wrote and recorded in 2018. So this is how in my own way I am. Like sometimes, like, and I just
You and I
don't.
need to do some energy work. We need to
Yeah,
get on the phone and do some energy clearing for you, literally.
right. No, for sure,
In person. I mean, like over the phone, not just distance healing that I've been doing,
sure,
but yeah.
sure. I would love that. Okay, this is Sonori, if I can not butcher it. So. I know pushed you away, and I don't like it this way. Life is hard and people change. Everyone needs it, it's me. But you never leave my side, even when nothing goes right. Just know I still want you here with me. I'm in struggling. You know you push me away. I hope you don't lead me astray. Love is hard, we'll find a way to carry on with unity. But you never leave my side, even when nothing goes right. Just know I still want you here with me. I'm struggling. Take my hand, let's look to the sky. Pray for truth, for hope in our eyes. Tomorrow we'll wait for a better day for you and me. So I'm
I
not even
love
gonna
it
try
so
to hit
much.
those high notes in the end because it's too early. But
It's early in the morning, yes,
yeah,
it's
yep.
I'm
That's a
fighting
little
a cold if you can hear me.
yep.
Um, I just there's so much soul behind everything that you touch. Do you think that that just is who you are inside? I know there has to be something about you being a musician, being an artist. There's like a deepness inside of you that, it comes out. Do you think that your past brings that pain, that love, that passion, or do you just think that's who you are from birth?
Um, I think it has to do with my childhood. Um, Mom and dad, stuff, and they're great people now. I love them, so I'm not there's none of that left anymore. But um, you know, abandonment issues. I'm not gonna say I had a bad childhood because I didn't, but the things that kind of carried over as an adult, the inadequacy feelings that kind of led me into to drugs and partying and to find my identity in that. And then also the music that I grew up on that I love. I just connected with it. I remember being a little boy and like my first crush in school, in grade school, and listen to Bon Jovi. This was before the 90s. This is when I was like a little bitty kid in the 80s when Bon Jovi was huge.
Yeah.
And there was a song, I don't remember what it was called. I die for you, I cry
Oh,
for
yep. I
you,
died
I
for
lay
you,
my.
I think.
I would cry to that song because I wanted this girl so bad. I thought I wanted to hold hands with her so bad, like or whatever, like whatever you do when you're a little kid. So I was always like kind of emotionally in tune with like that kind of music and those emotions. I mean, it was weird. I don't really know. I think that has a lot to do with that. And then, because like I said, I didn't have a bad childhood. My grandparents did a great job of raising me, and my mom came into my life a little later, and my dad was here and there, So, like, I don't know. I don't know if I was born just kind of an emo person or what, but uh, I definitely. So one of the things that happened, like the '90s music, right? So that had that, So like,
The pain.
yeah. and then it kind of switched over from the glam, basically pop music in the 80s, rock flavored pop music, to the real gritty, soulful grunge stuff. And that just, even as a kid, when that took over MTV, I loved it, and everybody loved it. But that, then later artists, like, so later artists that kind of continue that, people like Aaron Lewis in that early Stain stuff, it's like, oh my God, like, and I instantly already sounded like him because
Yeah.
I was already replicating Scott Weiland, Eddie Vedder. And if you really listen to Aaron Lewis early stuff, especially before he kind of got his country voice,
Yeah.
he's really just another version of that, just like Chad Kroeger and Nickelback. They're all, the post grunge is just basically a tasteful way of taking those Chris Cornell, these guys, these huge 90s guys, and making it their own.
Yeah.
So he was able to relay that pain, that soul. So people are like, you're trying to be like Aaron Lewis. I'm like, I already was doing it. When I remember listening to Stain, and because I would sing in my bedroom, early on in the 90s, and try to replicate Eddie Vedder and Lane Staley. And I was able to do it. I had a good pitch, like right out of the gate. It's just something natural for me. So it was easier. And then that was just a given when people, these early 2000s guys came out. I was like, I was able to replicate that easy. And it was something like, that was just so easy and natural for me. It's not something I'm trying to imitate. I would have to
Yeah.
consciously try not to sound like these guys. And I know my tone's different than some of them. And I'm starting to make it my own a little bit but with the spirit of these people.
Yeah.
Like if you listen to people say you sound just like Lane Staley in a nutshell, I'm like, I actually don't. I'm doing something there that's kind of relaying that spirit. I get that because I'm singing it how I hear it. But I mean, like I'm doing. There's a guy named Davey Allen that's blowing up, a young kid. I'm doing some shows with him. He sounds like Lane, like his
Really.
tone. He sounds just like Lane. That's how I got turned on to him. When he hits some high notes and like a Man in the Box, I mean, it's just phenomenal. And I'm doing something, but I don't feel like I sound like Lane Staley. Lane Staley's got a different tone.
Well, I
But I'm
think
singing.
his voice, if I were to like think about his voice, it's more narrow,
Yeah,
and your voice is wider. I don't know
yeah,
how else to like. That's how I
yeah. No, you're
visualize
right.
it.
You're right. And I get it that I'll probably stay in my lane and be like, all right, I do sound like, if you listen to Elderly Woman Behind the Counter, on my version of it, that first, I mean, that sounds like the original Eddie Vedder singing it on the very
Yeah.
first album. I get that. And I do sound a lot like Aaron Lewis. And even when I don't try, there's songs where I think, all right, I don't sound like anybody on this. I'm like, oh, it sounds like Aaron Lewis. I'm like, ah. And I love that, but I also want my own thing. But then I have to get it out of my head and be like, listen, nobody really has their own thing.
Yeah.
Now, if you sound like someone else, or if you have familiar, if you're familiar, and like my favorite artists are people that, new artists are people that bring that back, that sound like it, but they do it tastefully. If you're just straight blatantly ripping somebody off, it's a different story. But if you're bringing that back, it's like, that's the best music. That's the only way I can get into new artists, if they're doing something that's familiar to me that I used to love, and they're
Yeah, it's
bringing that.
grounded somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, and there's, at this point, there's nothing original anymore. And the only people that blow up on TikTok in the rock genre, especially if you have some sort of unique voice that reminds them of somebody else. And even back
Yeah.
before TikTok, think about bands like Greta Van Fleet and stuff. They, like, I didn't even know that wasn't Led Zeppelin. I was like, Led Zeppelin's making new music when I heard them on the radio. So I mean, like, I got to get out of that. I was a heavy metal guy for a longest time, and like, you don't want to rip off no bands because you're a poser, and that attitude. Nothing's original. You just have to you have to do it tastefully and be creative and bring those elements back. Because if you think about it, the bands I love, if you go back and listen to these 90s bands, you hear Hendrix, you hear Zeppelin, you hear The Who, those bands, like I love Tool, you hear so many Black Sabbath riffs sped up and Tool songs. Like it's like, get out of my own way when this comes to, so that has kept me from writing more music. There are songs I would discard because, like, oh, that sounds too much like Stained, or that sounds, and a part of the reason why I sat on I Believe for so long, because the chorus doesn't sound like a Stained song, but it sounds like something Stained would have written back in the early 2000s. So I was like, it's too much like that, so I'm scared to release it. And that's
But I will
stupid.
tell you that it is weird because you and I talked about, I believe, maybe 2 weeks before you released it, I would say 2, 3 weeks before you actually released it.
Right.
And we were just talking about it. And you're like, yeah, I got the song. I think it's going to be really huge. And, like, I think everything that you do is great.
Right.
And then I heard it, and I'm singing this damn song in the middle of the day, and I commented that on one of your videos. I'm like, I'm actually, like, not blowing smoke. I'm literally singing this damn song throughout the day. And you know what I mean? And you're just
Yeah.
like, oh my God, because the chorus is so powerful. It's
Right.
so, I hate to use the word catchy, but you just get sucked
No,
into it.
that's what I want. And I did I tell you a story about the girl I worked with and how she had the dream about it and all this stuff?
Yeah, but go
Um,
ahead. Not everybody's
no,
heard it.
no. Well, anyway, she had the dream. She has these dreams, and she predicted she had like premonition dreams. She predicted that I was gonna have a baby and like all this stuff, which I know this is stuff that like you 100% believe can happen. And it's I've had other instances like this where people have like you kind of helped me with the lead thing,
Yeah.
which was a thing, because I don't know what's real and what's not, but I'm always open to everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So she's like, that's the one. She had a dream. That's the one that's gonna put you there. So that, and on top of me being kind of super critical of myself, kept me from releasing it, for all those years. I was like, what if it doesn't hit? And I was like, all right, it's time. And she texted me and I was like, I'm gonna release it. She's like, okay, good. And just because I release it, I put out a video and it doesn't go super viral and I'm a rock star overnight, doesn't mean that's not gonna be the one that could be a fan favorite later on, or the one that, and it doesn't matter when you release a song. Like, it all matters about the content you produce after the song's out, because the attention spans now are,
Yeah.
all right, oh, I like how that sounds. Where do I find it? And you got to get them right in that first like 5-10 seconds so they can go to Apple or Spotify, or they're forgetting it, because I do that all the time.
Yeah.
It took me, there's some new artists that I love, and it took multiple videos of them to remind me. And I'm like, oh, now I
Yeah.
listen to them all the time, but after 15 or 20 different seen that video times I've seen that video, then I'm like, I'm gonna go follow these guys. And then, so it's like the attention spans are crazy small right now. So like, I still have faith in that song. I've always loved the song. It's one of the
So
songs of
good.
mine that I actually have playing through my own head, because I don't listen to my music. Well, I do listen to my music, but like, I was my number 2 Apple Artist of the Year, because, and I tried to act like I was all into my music, like I fuck with my music, but it's because Hazel makes me listen to my own stuff all the time,
Aw.
and I love it.
Hazel Lane is Josh's daughter, and he also has a
Right.
beautiful song called Hazel Lane, which is unbelievable.
Thank you. But we spend a lot of time in the car because she goes to school an hour away, and I'm going to pick her up here after this, actually. But so we're in the car for 2 hours. She likes to play on her iPad, and she makes me listen to Josh Holland Band, and she likes her song. She actually likes the hip hop song, the Upgrade. She loves that song that I put out. She knows the words. It's like the best feeling. Her mom sent me a video of her in the back of the car they were driving, and she was just watching, literally just watching the YouTube video for The Damaged, and it's not even a video, it's just a still. It's just the
Yeah.
YouTube streaming version of it, and she was singing along with the depressing breakup song, The Damage. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh my god, I love this so much. So most of my number 2 artist of the year was Josh Holland Band, and people are like, damn, he must love himself, like must love his own music. But no, it's like my daughter making me listen to it. But
I love that. I mean, but
yeah.
how cool is that? Like, dad's on YouTube, dad's TikTok famous, dad's doing, following his dream and living an amazing life. I mean, I know TikTok and social media has totally transformed everything about your experience. What's the craziest thing that's happened to you, like being on TikTok or Instagram, social media?
Like the coolest thing I've got to do, or
Yeah.
um well, early on, a couple, like, what's last year, one of the cool things, I got noticed by the owner of a company called the Number Project in Chicago, Kevin Smith, which I just did event Friday up in the city. He called me like 4 days before the event, said, man, I found your Glycerine cover. I love Glycerine. I love your voice. Can you come up and do this event? And I was like, I don't want to go to Chicago. It gives me anxiety. He said, let me call you and explain what's going on. So he's like, Chad Smith, right? And I was like, yeah, I think. I was like, okay, you mean the Chili Peppers drummer? He's like, yeah, he's a good friend of mine. So he's like, Taylor Hawkins used to be my celebrity guest when I do these events. Well, he passed away. Obviously, I knew that. And he's like, man, I love your voice. Is there any way you could learn My Hero by Foo Fighters and sing it? in remembrance of Taylor. He's like, and it mean a lot to me and Chad. Chad's a good friend of mine. He's going to be hosting this event or whatever.
Wow.
So I go on top of this skyscraper in Chicago and play with these amazing artists from all over the United States. These are touring artists, all of them, anywhere from 100 to 200, 300,000 Instagram followers, are doing their thing. They're career musicians, so R&B, folk. I mean, this is where I go to this place and I'm like, in my mind, I'm the worst singer. And I know I'm good, but like, I'm just technically, these people are just so good. So, he has me headline this event. Like, there's all these people there, and there's a beautiful at the top of this building, and I sang My Hero with the backing band. I had zero time to rehearse this. I
Wow.
learned the song in a couple of days. I got standing ovation, and I got to meet Chad Smith from the Chili Peppers, which is great. I got pictures with him. That was one of the first really cool things that happened, which led me to work with them nonstop. Like I do events for him all the time now. I just got to do another one with Chad Friday, and also a guy named Chuck My Lord, which blew up on. He does an amazing version of Iris by Goo Goo Dolls. He's
Oh,
blown up. He
really?
was on America's Got Talent. Guy named Anthony Ramos. He's a big movie star. He sings phenomenally. Like, man, I get to hang out with all these really cool people, high level people. So I got connected. That was one of the really cool moments that's
That's
happened.
amazing.
But I get to do cool stuff all the time
Do
now.
you
Like
ever sing My Hero? Because that's one of my favorite songs. My husband says
I
every time I
can.
get up and do anything, he sings that song in his head about me.
Oh, nice. Oh, you have a good husband then.
I know.
Uh, um, yeah, sometimes I do. I do. I sing it live sometimes if people ask for Foo Fighters for sure.
Okay.
Um, I guess I don't feel like it's my best cover, but people like it, so whatever. But then again, I don't know what my best cover is until somebody tells me what it is, because I'm not, like I'm just kind of, I know what I like singing, you know what I'm
Do you
saying? I know what I can put my soul into, but
do you think that that's what social media is for you? Is kind of like reminding you of how good you are sometimes, like when you forget?
yeah, but it's also
Then there's the
you
assholes.
get caught up in views and monthly listeners and numbers. And I got to tell myself like that doesn't mean anything. So like it's if you only depend on that for the validation, and then you drop an original, and I can see YouTube or not YouTube, but TikTok videos about this all the time. Why your original music doesn't hit. There's all these different factors, but you get caught up in that. Like, okay, I know the two songs that are going to get views. I know the two songs that are, and I continuously post them because people record those the most. And also because I know anytime I get a video that does well, I'm getting booking opportunities. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, going back to the cool things, I played on people's yachts. I'm getting ready to go to the Virgin Islands next year. The guy he just messaged me earlier, he wants me in Australia, which is crazy. My monthly listeners, my top three cities: Brisbane, Melbourne, and Sydney, Australia. Then it's like Chicago and Dallas. It's weird. Like, I'm not saying all my following, but I got like a weird fan base in Australia now. But
That's so awesome.
yeah, I know. So I get to do a lot of cool stuff, and I probably right off the top of my head, I can't think. That wasn't the last question, was it? I
I
can't
think I
remember.
was just wondering how like cool shit, but it sounds like you're
Yeah,
doing cool shit all the time.
yeah, and then like I like also social media kind of helped me. People see my videos, they ask me to open up. Like we got to open up for Stone Temple Pilots last year. Or
Yeah.
was it earlier this year? And back I opened up for Aaron Lewis, and some of the earlier stuff was from known promoters around here. Social media is it's amazing. Like, but it also has a downside where I'm so much more addicted to my phone now, and I justify it
Yes.
by its work. Like, because it's
Yes.
work, you justify it. So I'm not doom scrolling, which I do sometimes, but not but the dopamine hit you get from a viral video and your emails going crazy and your instant all these apps working for you, which this because you have a huge
Yeah.
following. So like, and it's all work and it's all opportunities. So it's like, but when you put it down, you just got this gaping hole in your brain of just like this
Yep.
come down, which I've known. That's why I get really concerned about my daughter and her iPad, because I feel I can see, because that's the thing. It's you're getting
It's
a
a
dopamine hit, just
real
like
thing.
yeah, just like it's like a mild drug. So like it can actually maybe more than mild sometimes,
Yeah.
but it's exciting, and I stay on it, and I'm always on it, and then uh but more opportunities. So it's just like I don't know. I mean,
I'm just so blessed to have found you. I know so many other
same.
people are so blessed to have found you. I'm so happy for you that now your music is touching literally everyone all over the world. Um, your voice is heaven. You
Oh,
are
thank you.
just one of my favorite people. Just everything about you is just so real and vulnerable and honest. Um, sometimes too shy. I always
Yeah,
give you
I'm
shit
working on
about
that.
that.
I'm definitely. I've been thinking about that a lot because people have been calling me out on it, and
Oh,
I
so see, it's
understand
not
this.
just me.
No, I understand it, and it has. uh, Okay, so I got sick, and we were working together with that stuff. So I've
Yeah,
had huge turnaround in the last 2 weeks with that. I have
awesome.
had 2 weeks where I have not felt bad. I've had
Yes.
So there was some stuff in my garage that got contaminated from my old house that got taken out, and I got my house cleaned. I knew this was real, but I was doubting myself because I always doubt myself, and I always because you can't see it, so I can't
Right. So
believe it.
Josh had a situation with mold.
Yes.
And so yeah, people know what we're talking about
Oh
that
yeah,
was in
yeah,
your
yeah, for
garage.
sure.
Yeah. There was a mold situation and then you left that and there's
Yeah.
been some things and then you and I worked together and I found some lead issues. So go ahead.
Yes. But yes, so that has really destroyed my mental health in the last 3 years. It's been very hard to stay sober. It's been very hard to be happy. So all the things I have, like I'm kind of introverted and shy. So you add feeling terrible and have an
Yeah.
immune response to that, and constantly it's like when you have it's called SIRS. It develops from mold. I had mold allergies for 6 years in my old house, and it turns into something else once the exposure is too long, and your brain feels like it's on fire. It feels
Yeah.
like coming off of drugs without the good part. Um, you're nauseous. You can't retain. I mean, people sometimes it leads people to dementia. But
Yeah.
anyways, you don't think about it. Okay, something was in that house. It got contaminated. That blanket didn't get washed. I brought it to my new house. I put it on a couch. Now the couch has millions of mold spores, or they're called mycotoxins or whatever. I come in contact with that. I get sick. I get an immune response. It feels like COVID over and over and over. And a lot of people are dealing with this, and it's starting to come into the mainstream now. People like Jordan Peterson and people like he's dealing with it. The Lyme thing. The Lyme is kind of like
Yeah.
an easier way to understand it. I don't know if it's correlated somehow, but that I've not had any issues. I went to California, and when I go out west, if you get mold sick, then you don't feel good when you're in extreme humidity. So when I go to Fort Lauderdale for shows, I never feel like 100%. I always have a day where I'm just fatigued and just feel awful. And the thing about getting sick from black mold, it's neurological, so it makes
Yeah.
you feel terrible. It's like coming down. And it just dopamine, serotonin, it's just completely tanked. Hormones, it destroys your hormones. I mean, it's just awful. So like I gotta tell myself, all right, I have friends with cancer. At least I'm not dying. I can figure this out. I just need clean air. And I've always had allergies, asthma when I was a kid. So I'm just prone to that type of stuff. Like I felt great for 2 weeks. So that intensifies my shyness and my because I don't feel good. I didn't feel like great when I came to your house.
Yeah,
I
you
feel
were
I
you
feel
were
normal right
struggling.
now. And I can still sing, thankfully. One thing that's happened is I'm not exposed to anything right now, and I've got my house probably 95% clean. I'm sure there's billions of particles in the air or whatever, but my throat was inflamed. My sinus cavities are inflamed,
Yeah.
along with my eyes, along with my brain. It's all right here. A lot of people get intestinal, gastro, what is it called? Gut issues. Some people get skin issues. All kinds of weird stuff can happen from mold. Mine was all right here.
Yeah.
Um, so I can sing better. I can hit higher notes. There's no inflammation in my throat, my nose, or my head at the moment. And I can still get it if I'm exposed to certain types of mold. Quitting cat, I haven't got tested. And I did get blood tests and urine tests at an infectious disease doctor to find out levels of all this stuff in my blood. But promise you, just like you told me, which I decided to address it, lead, heavy metals build up on top of mycotoxins, mold, biotoxins, all the things that I've been, breathing in for years
Yeah.
with my genetic makeup, not being able to detox it. So I went down this rabbit hole for 3 years. I'm self-diagnosing, but but I've also talked to multiple neural paths, Zoom calls with functional medicine doctors. Um, it's real. I didn't think it
Yeah.
was real, so I doubted myself. So I stayed exposed. I stayed being irresponsible with it. Had I known this, I wouldn't just like your friend that I met, she's amazing. She's
Yeah.
been through it all. When I met her, I was like, oh my God, finally somebody that understands. So like everything's clean. I'm feeling better. I know that it could just wake up and just I could wake up one day and it could come back. But like I played the party in Denver. I was so I didn't feel the need to have alcohol because I always kind of crave it when I'm in social situations. I had a good time for the first time in a long time. And I was socializing with people. I performed. I wasn't completely uncomfortable, without feeling like I need some sort of alcohol. It's for anxiety. So I'm working on to go back to that. I'm working on trying to be a little bit more, what's the word? Whatever, less shy.
Face forward.
Because yeah, for sure. And it works like while I'm performing some of these songs, of course, like, that's that type of music. But in between songs, being a front man, like I had that back when I used to drink because it just killed the anxiety.
Yeah.
So then I stopped drinking and then I get sick from something that just destroys my mental health. So it kind of puts me back in myself, in my head. So and I need this for social media,
Yeah.
especially for social media. I can get by, I can do a gig as long as I sing well or my band performs well or I kill it. There'll be a couple of people that'll be like, man, I wish you would engage the crowd more, but it
Yeah.
doesn't hurt my audience or doesn't hurt my attendance as much. But with social media, if I don't get out there and get used to seeing myself on camera and do more lives and sit down on my couch and play more songs and just really get out of my own head, that's gonna hurt me. So, and I
Are
know
you
that.
doing
That's what
lives?
I have been doing lives. I got snowed in a couple weekends ago, and I spent the entire day doing lives.
That's
And
awesome.
I
And
did a
YouTube is
live.
good too for that. I know. Like
Really.
going
I
on
so
YouTube. Yeah.
that's the one I've not had any success on, but I also forget about it. I need
Yeah.
to. I don't post as much on there. I
So I'll
really
have to
need to.
tell you, I'll text you
Okay.
this it's called repurpose.io and I just started using it and I think it's like $24 a month and whatever you post on TikTok it automatically posts to like
Yeah.
anything you
Okay.
want it to. So YouTube, Instagram,
Right.
Facebook, Snapchat, Pinterest, anything, it just automatically handles it for you so you only have
Yeah,
to
I've
post
seen that.
one place. Oh my god, it's
Okay.
heaven. Heaven.
Yeah, because that's another reason why I do the cross posting from Instagram to Facebook, but then I got to make the TikTok video, and then I wait till it downloads, and then I post it to
Oh yeah.
Instagram, then it goes to Facebook. Then I forget about YouTube. By that point, I've spent I
Yeah.
don't know however much time doing it. So
Yeah, no,
yeah, no, that would be
I'll
cool.
text you that and tell you how to do it because I just did it like a week ago and it is life changing and my views have skyrocketed everywhere
Really?
because of it. Oh
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it's crazy.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
and you don't have to put as much time into it. That's awesome.
Well, thank you so much. I could sit here and talk to you all day about everything from healing journeys to listening to you play songs and
Thank you.
my friend Christina, she's the one that let me know that you were 30 minutes from us. She's like, Josh is 30 minutes from us. She was at the party and then we went and saw you
Right.
here locally. But
Yeah,
if you are in
I'll be
Chicago
back there
again,
too.
huh?
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I said we'll be back there and Valentine's Day,
Oh,
Corrigan's.
okay.
I was having a terrible night that night. I felt
You were
awful and the
struggling.
sound, I mean, I couldn't sing well. But anyways, I gotta redeem myself on Valentine's Day there because I'm feeling better. Hopefully that stays that way. But
Yeah, but
yeah.
everyone loved it.
Right.
Most people don't know what it's supposed to sound like, and I will tell you,
Yeah, right.
you sounded fantastic, and I fell in love with your guitar player. Some of
Oh,
the
he's so
music that
good.
I hear on Spotify, I'm like, "Oh, that must be a track." It's him. He's so
Yeah, so
talented.
the between he if you hear the real intricate stuff, like I believe the solo
Yeah,
on Sonori, No Regrets, all that work through that's Miles. The rest of the stuff is Eric, but she's a phenomenal guitar, multi-instrument. So between
unbelievable.
those two are amazing musicians. But yeah, that's Miles Elgood. You can follow him. I'm trying to
I
plug him a
follow
little
him
bit.
on Instagram
Yeah,
too. He's
yeah, for
just
sure.
fantastic,
Oh
and
my
what a
God,
nice guy.
yeah, he's super nice. He's a good guy. He's one of the best guitar players I've ever seen. Not just I know, like the stuff that you think you see like Zach Wild and he's Dimebag Daryl, which I love, and he can do that stuff like easy. He's so
Yeah.
freaking good. It's weird
You can tell
that I have him in
he's
my band.
like a classical musician. Like he is a
Yeah,
musician
yeah,
who plays the guitar, who's a student of the guitar. Like he is a
yeah.
student.
He still spends time on it, but he spent his childhood just practicing. Me, on the other hand, I don't practice. I never practiced. I got lucky and can do it. And I probably haven't progressed that guitar since I was 18, but I don't really have to. I'm a rhythm guitar player. So it's like, I can
Well,
play
just
the
remember,
basics.
Billy Joel's never taken a piano class.
Right. So yeah. And I know there's lots of musicians like that. Aaron Lewis is the same way.
Yep.
You know, a lot of these guys that we love are taught themselves. But
And
Miles, I
I
think
have to tell you, I did
Yep.
meet Lance from Alice in Chains one time. And
Okay.
he just like walked in front of me and I'm
Are you
like,
talking about Lane?
hi. Huh?
Who are you talking about? Lane?
Lane, I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I like
Oh,
looked
wow. You
down and
did?
yes.
Oh my
And
God.
in Akron, Ohio. And I was just out with some girlfriends. We used to live down there. And all of a
Okay.
sudden, like everyone's like, that's him, that's Lane. And I was just like, holy shit. Like,
Right.
so I
I
did
have,
get to meet him and say
that's
hi to him
awesome. I
before
have
he
his
passed.
autograph. I have his autograph, but not from him. It was from the Monsters of Rock tour. A friend of a friend gave it to a buddy of mine, and my buddy was going to sell it to me. I was going to buy it off him for like $500. I was like, dude, I don't care. I'll buy
You're
it.
like,
That's amazing.
done.
And he got drunk one night. He's like, dude, you know what? This means way more to you than it'll ever mean to me. He just gave it to me. So I got it framed in an Alice in Chains CD case downstairs. So yeah, that's awesome. And I'll probably never ever get rid of it. So
I
yeah.
love that. Well, thank you so much for being here.
No
Everybody
problem.
go follow Josh. He is on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, Josh Holland Band, at Josh Holland Band. Go check him out. Also over on Spotify, he's a running playlist for me and my friends that were here listening to him. And his covers are amazing. His originals are amazing. His band, his solo work, everything is great. If you have an event, be it at your house or for your company, he brings all of the amazing 90s and country and everything. So message him and get him out to your event. His calendar fills up quickly. So, get ahead of it. You're not going to be able to book him for next Saturday. So reach out to him. And if you need any information, reach out to me, let me know, and I'll make sure and get you in touch with him. But thank you so much, Josh, for being here with me today. I love you so, so much.
Thank you.
And you're just
my
the
pleasure.
best.
My first podcast. I have not replied to anyone except for you, but I already know you and I'm comfortable with you. So maybe this will help me get into doing more, because I know they can definitely help
Dude,
me.
you crushed it. You're a natural. You're way easy to talk to. So
Thank you.
I will tell you, if anyone asks you to do a podcast, just like, what is it about? And then if it's like in line with what we're doing here, just say yes, because you're perfect at this.
Oh, well, thank you. Good to know.
Yeah.
So,
all right, guys. I'll see you here
right.
next week, and have a good one. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the TikTok Famous Podcast with Meredith Willits. If you're loving the unfiltered stories and behind-the-scenes truths, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share the show. Until next time, let's